Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dr. Daniel Kaplan, and my mission is to make psychology accessible to all. In today's video, we're going to talk about narcissistic personality disorder. We're going to get a sense of the hallmark features, the diagnostic criteria, some of the conceptualization as to what might cause narcissistic personality disorder, and a couple treatment ideologies or modalities that we try. If you like the content in this video, you found it useful, meaningful, give a big thumbs up, subscribe, click the notifications tab. But without further ado, let's talk about narcissistic personality disorder. So people with narcissistic personality disorder are generally grandiose. They need a lot of admiration. They also can lack empathy, very similar to people with antisocial personality disorder. These individuals are more likely to exaggerate their achievements or their talents and might even come across as arrogant. But here are the DSM5 criteria. In order to have a personality disorder in general, you need to be at least 18 years old or older, and it has to be a chronic condition. So we have to be able to track this for at least 6 months or longer. And you need at least 5 of the following symptoms. So a person needs to have a grandiose sense of self-importance. As I mentioned, they might exaggerate their achievements or talents, even though it's not matching what they've actually done. There might be fantasies of unlimited power or success or beauty or ideal love. A person might feel as though they have special or unique qualities about them that puts them in an elite status. There is a craving or need for excessive admiration, a sense of entitlement, a sense of exploitation, which means that they're going to take advantage of other people to achieve their needs. And then there's lack of empathy. So they might be willing to disregard the feelings of others to get what they want. There is a sense that people are either jealous of them or might be jealous of them. And then there's this arrogance. Now, this is a lot, right? So there are 9 criteria. You don't need them all. You need 5 out of 9. So when we think about people with narcissistic personality disorder, they oftentimes are not interested in the feelings of others. Like I said, they might disregard people's feelings. And this sounds kind of like antisocial personality disorder. So you are seeing some commonalities. The same way there were commonalities between borderline personality disorder and histrionic personality disorder, now you're starting to see some commonalities with narcissistic and antisocial personality disorder. And that shouldn't shock you because they're all cluster B personality disorders, right? So about 1% of adults display a narcissistic personality disorder, and 3/4 of these individuals are male. Now, here's the deal. One of the reasons why we wait until adulthood to diagnose personality disorders are sometimes it's common in adolescence or early adolescence to show these signs. So it's not uncommon for teenagers to display some level of narcissism and it fades away and it doesn't manifest in adult narcissism. So in order not to over pathologize or over diagnose, we're careful to allow personality to start to form before we identify a personality disorder. So how do we understand or explain narcissistic personality disorder? So from a psychodynamic point of view, we focus on the parents, right? So oftentimes the parents are either cold or rejecting to their children. And as a function of this, this is a way of rectifying those rejecting parents. So if they portray themselves in a grandiose way, this allows them to convince themselves that they are indeed self-sufficient. They do indeed have value uh, in spite of not having those warm relationships. And we do see that there is some support for this. So if we look at research on children who are abused, or there was divorce or death, and there's some kind of rejection involved, we do see these individuals are higher risk of developing narcissistic personality disorder. So from a cognitive behavioral point of view, the suggestion is people develop narcissistic personality disorder when they're treated too positively in early life. So if you're treated like the golden child over and over and over, it is not uncommon for you to become grandiose and overvalue your self-worth. So that is the suggestion from a cognitive behavioral point of view. You internalize this celebration or overly positive perspective people put on you, and that leads to narcissism. So we also look from a sociocultural point of view that today that we live in this era of narcissism, and there's this desire to present oneself positively on social media and whatnot. So there might be an era of narcissism where we're propagating this grandiosity in people. So how do we treat it, right? So treating narcissistic personality disorder is very, very difficult. But more often than not, if an individual has a personality disorder, they might also have other psychological disorders, right? So you can have co-occurring diagnoses, and oftentimes narcissistic personality disorder commonly occurs with depression. So we will treat depression as much as we can to alleviate some of these feelings. Now, another thing you might see in treatment is individuals may try and manipulate their therapist in supporting the individual and their self-perception. They might want the therapist to endorse their grandiosity or superiority. And what we find is similar to antisocial personality disorder. None of the major treatments work very well. It's a challenge, it's difficult, but we do the best we can. So that is narcissistic personality disorder. And it is important to know that you can have high levels of narcissism without meeting the criteria for narcissistic personality disorder. So it's not either you have it or you don't. You can have grandiosity without being diagnosed with the condition. And going back to our understanding of mental health, if there is no dysfunction involved or distress involved, a lot of people get away with the diagnosis because they don't meet all the criteria. So that is narcissistic personality disorder. I hope you found this video useful. One last request is if you have a thought or a reaction to the video or a question, put it in a comment section below so that we can turn this into a learning community, and you will be helping me further develop these ideas. So thank you very much for your time, and until next time, take care, everybody.